Welcome back to Get Unpacked. Today, we're tackling the search for the perfect morning routine. You've seen it everywhere, right? The 5 a.m. club, the miracle morning. But what does the science really say about building a start to your day that truly sets you up for success? So let's just start with this question. Is your morning working for you, or is it working against you? Because for so many of us, the day starts in a blur. Rushed, reactive. And that chaos, it doesn't just stay in the morning. It kind of spills over and sets the tone for the entire day. Experts actually have a name for this. They call it the accidental morning. It's basically a start to the day that has zero intention behind it. Instead, it's just built on a few really common habits that can completely sabotage your energy and focus before you've even had that first sip of coffee. Okay, take a look at these. They seem pretty harmless, don't they? But that snooze button, experts tell us it actually chops up our restorative sleep. And grabbing your phone first thing, that just jolts your brain into a reactive mode, immediately flooding it with everybody else's emergencies. These little things add up, leaving you feeling sluggish and totally out of sync. So, what's the alternative? Well, a lot of us look to the so-called titans of industry, hoping for some magic formula. But as we're about to see, their routines are all over the place. And that actually reveals a surprising and, honestly, a crucial truth about what really works. So on one end, you've got people like Twitter co-founder Bizzarre. His morning isn't about crushing emails or optimizing productivity. No, it's about connection, it's about play, it's about building amazing things with Legos, which, you have to admit, sets a completely different vibe for the day. Then you got author David Kadavi, who just completely flips the script. He says he's not a morning person, so he doesn't fight it. Instead, he actually leans into that groggy, off-peak state, because some research shows that's when you can have these really insightful, creative breakthroughs. Kinda cool, right? And then, on the other extreme, you have someone like author Jenny Blake, who opts for a super slow, mindful start. I mean, we're talking 1 to 2 hours of quiet reading with a candle lit, followed by meditation. This is all about finding deep calm and reflection before the chaos of the day hits. So you have play, grogginess, and quiet reflection, 3 totally different yet successful ways to start the day. And this brings us to a huge point. Just blindly copying someone else's routine is pretty much a recipe for failure. It's the principles behind what they're doing that matter, not the specific personality you're copying. So, if copying isn't the answer, then what is? Well, let's look at the science. It turns out there are 3 core pillars that can help anyone, and I mean anyone, build a better morning that's actually tailored to them. But before we dive into those pillars, get this. According to Psychology Today, we make around 35,000 decisions a day. 35,000. A good routine automates the small stuff, what to wear, what to eat, so you save all that precious mental energy for the stuff that really matters. All right, pillar number 1 is all about working with your biology, not fighting against it. And that means getting in sync with your internal clock, your circadian rhythm. Think of this as your body's own 24-hour master clock. It controls pretty much everything from alertness to hormones. And 2 of the most powerful ways to set that clock correctly each morning are, you guessed it, getting some sunlight and doing some kind of physical exercise. And this shows you exactly why the timing of that exercise really matters. A major review of studies shows that morning exercise can actually improve your sleep quality later that night. On the flip side, really intense evening exercise can sometimes crank up your body's thermostat and keep your nervous system buzzing, which can get in the way of winding down for sleep. Pillar number 2 is all about fuel. It's simple, really. After you've been fasting all night while you sleep, your brain and your body are basically running on fumes. So this pillar is all about filling up the tank the right way. Yeah, health experts are pretty clear on this one. Breakfast isn't just about not feeling hungry, it literally breaks the fast, and it restores your brain's number 1 energy source, glucose. And the science backs this up. It directly juices up your concentration and memory, and it sets the stage for you to make healthier food choices all day long. And that brings us to our 3rd and final pillar, which might be the most important one in our crazy modern world. It's about protecting your most valuable asset, your attention. How you start your morning can make or break your ability to focus for the rest of the day. Author Cal Newport has a great term for this state of mind. He calls it deep work. This is that zone, that distraction-free concentration where you're pushing your skills and creating real value. It's the absolute opposite of just being busy. So here's the game plan. Structure your morning to protect a block of time for deep work before you get sucked into all the shallow work. You know what I mean? Endlessly replying to emails. It makes you feel productive, sure, but as Newport says, you're often just acting as a human information router. A powerful morning protects your focus for what truly moves the needle. Okay, so we've got the science. Sync your clock, fuel your brain, protect your focus. That's great, but how do you actually turn those principles into a real, practical routine that you'll actually stick with? Well, one of the best ideas for this is a concept called eating the frog. Your frog is that one big, important task that you are most likely to put off. The whole idea is to tackle that thing first. Get it done. That way, you've already got a huge win under your belt, and the rest of the day feels easier. So here's a super simple 4-step framework. First, know your type. If you're a night owl, a 5 a.m. start is just going to be torture. Second, start small. Don't try to become a whole new person overnight. Just add one new thing. Third, measure it. The real test is, how do you actually feel by lunchtime? And finally, adapt. Life changes, and so should your routine. When it comes right down to it, the perfect routine isn't some rigid formula you copy from a CEO. It's about creating your own personal rhythm, one that feels right for you. It's about finding that balance between some quiet reflection and some meaningful action. The goal isn't a perfect routine, it's an intentional one. So I'll just leave you with this one question to think about for tomorrow. What is the one frog you're gonna eat?